Hello everybody, this is Wa Gremlin and this is the CBR category 4-5 field, and this is the circuit race in reverse. They did it counterclockwise this time. A lot of good people riding here. Some of them were like Dalton Thorsberry, Brian Kramer, and Mario Nava was here also. And a rider that I hadn't seen before is Scott McClave. He actually ended up getting second. But we're gonna jump to the first breakaway that tried to get away. It was with four guys. Well, fast forward here. Okay, so here we're fast forward to the guys that are trying to break away. We have one guy that rolls off the front, and a go fast guy follows up with him. And this causes somewhat of a panic to some of the people inside the main group. So they start yelling not to let him go. In my opinion, it was a better idea to let them dangle out there, waste a little bit of energy before bringing them back. It's only 12 minutes into the race out of 30 minutes, and they weren't gonna have a big chance. It was too early, and it was only four of them. So two went out at the beginning, and then two others joined. Nobody that really was gonna cause danger to the outcome of the race. So I figured it was better to let them go. The group started working well together, so they were reeled in pretty slow and steady. And I made the choice to actually stay back and not go to the front because I have very limited matches. I had to watch where I spend my energy, and there were still some very strong guys in the field, so I figure that they do the work. Also, in terms of how Go Fast was riding, they actually wrote this very smart. They must have some good coaching behind it because while the four guys were out in the break, they had guys that would block the field from speeding up, and everybody would have to go around. As you'll see, you'll have some guys screaming to go around the Go Fast guys, but they would continue, move up to the front, and then set up shop right at the front of the peloton. So it made it quite difficult for everybody to, work smoothly towards bringing the break back. Here you're gonna see Go Fast guy move to the front, and right there he starts to just pace it, so very, very subtle block, but indeed slower than how the break is going. That's how they were able to get a good gap. This tactic is very good, even if you don't have a strong team. It can actually work to your advantage because it just starts to wear down a lot of the riders. And now I'll let the video run until they reel them back, and then we'll fast forward towards the last lap, which was where things got really difficult to maintain position or even to move up. Very difficult. So here we go. So here you can see in this U-turn that the brake didn't really have that much time on the field anymore. I noticed that every time that we went by the U-turn, the breakaway would get closer and closer. I don't know what was causing that. They were losing a lot of time in that U-turn for some reason. The field would always pick up at least 2 seconds every time until eventually we reeled them in. So here you see the U-turn again, and you see the breakaway is already reeled in for good. And it's 20 minutes, 22 minutes into the race. So from here on out, pretty much it's basically gonna go down to a field sprint. So for the field sprint, I had a strategy that I had put in some research and found out that Brian Kramer he actually won this race the year before in 2020. So I figured he was gonna be a good wheel to follow in the final sprint. Although I was unaware that Mario Nava was in this race, so I wasn't really looking out for him, which you will see he's gonna be the determining factor in the outcome of the race. Now we will fast forward to the last lap. So here we're coming up to the final lap, and I'm behind Brian Kramer. The previous lap before this, he basically he got into the go fast train that was coming up from our left, and he just merged up and was able to gain some positions. But eventually the field reshuffled again, and this is where we are now. I knew I had to stay on his wheel because due to his results on the previous races, he seems to be a pretty good wheel to follow. And this section right here is really, really fast, but very difficult to take at full speed since the riders were taking it differently on every lap. It wasn't nothing consistent, so it was very difficult to predict how they were gonna be turning. And the U-turn, I believe a lot of people were taking it slower than they should have, but not everybody has the same confidence on the taking weird turns like that. Very rare to come up on a U-turn on most of the crits. But here we go, the heart rate's already at 191. This is already hurting a lot. The legs are burning. But it's the final lap, so you have to dig deep, maintain position. And here we go. That's the third rider. Goes off the front, trying to bridge the two guys that are up front. So you have Mario Nava pulling, then you have Scott McClave on his wheel, and then you have the third rider trying to bridge, and then it's Brian Kramer and me at the front looking around to see who's gonna help bring them back. But at this point everybody is pretty much cooked, so not much we can do. So right here, Brian Kramer sees that there's no hope, so he takes matters into his own hands and jumps. I just have to stay on his wheel. I know that I can't sprint much, so my sprinting behind him it's gonna be my best outcome. Thankfully, it was a really, really long way, and he ended up fading out, and I was able to overtake him for the third spot. We ended up overtaking the guy that was trying to bridge, but that was a massive effort by Brian there. I felt bad in a way, but I mean, a race is a race. And congratulations to Mario Nava and Scott McClave. That was also, with 10 seconds on the field, very, very strong riders. Well, see you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed it.